Good morning, boys. Father Andrew here. Today, I've got quite the story for you guys. That being how I ended up having to draw furry OC. But before we actually get into the story, just gonna say yes, I still sound like I've been eating sandpaper, because I still have a cold. Now, to get straight into it. Around the beginning of October, which was a few months ago now, I made a bet with a friend that the Tennessee Titans would not win an upcoming game. If they won, I had to draw furry OC. If they lost, I'd get a bottle of rum. And, as you can tell, the Tennessee Titans won. 24-17, which I'll be honest is a pretty impressive score. So, having lost the bet, and being a man of my word, I grabbed GIMP, I opened it up, and started working on the OC. But before I could actually start drawing the OC, I had to have an idea of what I was going to make. The first idea that came to mind was to draw just the most brain damaging thing possible. And I am talking just absolute utter garbage. Full on, Terminal 7 brain cancer. I don't know what that is, but it's bad, Luigi. But after some reconsideration, I decided that that plan was absolute dog shit. Mainly because that's just the expected result generally. And so, making something doo-doo would be boring and expected. So, I decided to take the opposite route, and make the OC as detached from what you'd expect as possible, which now allows me to explain my thought process behind the character's design. But before we get into that, you know what, I'm just going to start speaking in a different way, because I was trying to speak like Pyrocinic.
So guys, we did it!
Cool, and I can't be fucked. It's doing too much damage to my already strained vocal cords. Anyway, getting back into the design process, most furry OCs tend to be mammals, they tend to be very brightly coloured, and they tend to be an animal that you're more likely to see in urban areas, such as dogs, cats and foxes, or sometimes a hybrid of any of those three. And most of these characters they create usually don't wear clothes because they're covered in hair, and are usually reminiscent of some kind of mascot, usually having a very friendly appearance, and a distinct lack of cybernetic enhancements. So, I took these design cues, violently turned them inside out with a full body prolapse, and I noted down the results, and then used those results to reverse engineer the exact opposite of a furry, still in some way maintaining an animal-like appearance so it could technically be cast as one. I was originally tempted to use something like a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, which is closer to a human than it is a monkey, but I decided to go with a Wendigo because Wendigos are cool, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And also because Wendigos are known for being aggressive, violent, and generally being unappealing appearance-wise, it was the perfect thing to start working from. But due to the existence of Wendigo furry OCs, I realised I had to ramp up my game. I had to make this thing even more unfriendly. So I locked it in a basement and only fed it steroids, 4 locos, Zimbabwean dollars, and pure Argent energy. And what came out was nearly the finished product. A red, hairless, Doom-style Wendigo. And all it needed next was its implants. So I wrapped it in chains, hauled it off to Night City, and had my man Ripperdoc slap every single implant he had on that bad boy. And several hours later, once the surgery was done, we had the finished product. We got Brimstone, the Argent energy powered, absolute giga-chad that you see before you now. We also had some cornate marks carved into him, because he now serves chaos. Meaning, with each head he takes, with each victim he kills, he only grows stronger. Brimstone will rip and tear, until it is done. And with that, we have reached the end of the story. If you like this, like, subscribe, whatever, you're an adult, you know what to do. Goodbye.